worked on making our little hat for our gnome. So I made a red one on this one before, and this one I've made a colourful one, or a variegated one, which is where the colours again change. So it's gone from purple to dark blue to light blue to a green. So that's an interesting wool, that one. So now we need to make the pom-pom part of our gnome. And so that's where this little piece of cardboard comes in. So it's 13 centimetres long and 8 centimetres wide. Now it can just be it just needs to be a fairly strong cardboard, but whatever you can find around the house. And then we just cut out a little slit. I think that's about 7 centimetres by about 1 centimetre, but it doesn't need to be any specific measurement. So I thought I've done the red with the white on this one, and my hat here I think I might put some grey with it. So I've got the wool ready to go. And so it's just a matter of holding it up the top. If you have a little bit of trouble with that, you can always put a little bit of sticky tape on there to hold it. And then it's just again a matter of just wrapping lots of times. Doesn't matter where it goes. And your wool you might just want on the ground, and release some of it so that it just flows in your hand. We just need to leave a little bit of a gap down the end in here so that we can thread some wool through. But we're just going to keep wrapping it around till we feel like we've got enough. And like I said, with the white one there, I think I did it about 120 times if you want to work with a number, but otherwise just keep wrapping it around. Lots of times. And there's lots of different ways to make a pom-pom. Sometimes at the craft shops they actually have a pom-pom maker. Another way you used to be able to do them is with 2 circles and a slit cut in them, but I felt that this was the easiest way to make one at home. So like with anything, most of the time there's quite a few different ways to do something. Lots of winding. I think I'll just keep giving it a little bit more. Right, I think that's probably around about enough. So what I'm going to do is grab my scissors, cut it off at the end. And then I need another piece. It doesn't matter how long, as long as it's long enough to be able to tie. So down the end here where I've left a little bit of a gap, we're just going to thread it through. And then through the other slit down that end. I'm going to get very good at tying knots with this one. So we bring the 2 ends together. The top one we bring around and underneath, and then you're going to pull. You might need mum or dad's help a little bit here, because the tighter you can get this, the less likely the pom-pom will come apart. But you can tie another string around once you've done this one. So again, I've pulled it tight. So mum or dad, or you can just pop your finger there if need be. But you take, that's it, we can have it there, so that holds it in place to free your hands up. And so we've got our 2 ends, again one underneath the other. We take the top one and we pull it underneath, so we've got a little bit of a crossover, and then we move the finger out with that one. So it's probably not the tightest. I might even actually do one, since that one's done, I'll grab my ball of wool and just do another one. So that at least holds it in place. again through the slot at the ends. And then that one, we can get it really tight. And again, your both ends, the top one goes underneath, and then we pull it. That's it. We can leave, and we can just trim them to the end. And then with your scissors, we're going to cut the ends. So you won't be able to do it all in one go. So you just got to get your scissors, may even be just at the end of the cardboard. And these ones aren't very good, so it's a matter of finding which ones might work. And I might just go for my big scissors. And it's just a matter of cutting. And sometimes different wools are easier to cut than others. That's it. And you just grab a group at a time. And we'll grab in that one. And that's that end done. And so we're going to turn it around and we're going to cut this end as well. So yeah, so I'm just grabbing some of the wool and then grabbing a little bit more. And again, keeping my fingers away from the scissors. That's it. And just get in there with some. And then the last little bit. And there we go. So we've got the ends cut off that end and cut in half. Oh, I've missed one there, so you can go back and just make sure you've cut all of it. And then what happens is we slide the cardboard out. And then you can just fluff your pom-pom. And just sort of move the wool around a little bit to give you that ball shape. And there is our pom-pom. So this is the same as the white one here. All right, so from our little gnome that we've got here, we've now got the hat, the same as the red one. And then we've also got the pom-pom, which is the grey pom-pom here, is the same as the white pom-pom there. I've also got a little pearl bead, but again, you can use a little button or a little wooden bead or any sort of bead that you might have at home. So this part is actually, we're going to finish off our gnome. Now, you can, like this gnome here, I haven't got a hanger or something to hang. He can actually sort of just sit. But if you wanted to hang one up, so if you wanted to put it on a Christmas tree or hang it on the door, we can actually tie and string around exactly where we did the last one. And then we'll just bring it around there, and we're just going to tie it up at the top. So again, we've got one end and the other end, and we're going to bring it under. And then we're just going to tie a knot. So again, underneath. And we'll try and get it as even as we can. That looks pretty good. And then we'll trim off the ends of it. And sometimes when cutting, what I'm actually doing is between these two fingers, I'm actually providing some tension or some tightness to the wool. which actually makes it easier to cut. Because if I've got it there, it sort of can be a little bit harder to get the scissors through. So if you can give it a little bit of tightness to the wool, it makes it a little bit easier to cut. So that's our little hanger ready to hang there. And so what I've got is my pom-pom. I'm going to sort of look at it and see, fluff it up. And I think I'm going to have this part up the top here as the flat part. And with my hot glue gun, which I've had turned on for a little while, is I'm going to take my little hat here and move that out the way and apply some glue all around. Oh, that's going to be a pain. I need to bring that little piece in and just keep going around the rim, the hat, and a little bit in the middle. And glue can be a little bit tricky to work with, but you just need to get it on top of the hat, on top of the pom-pom, and just press down. And it sticks pretty quickly. And you can just pull away any little bits of the stringy glue. It cools down quite quickly. So I've got my pom-pom there. I'm just going to straighten it out and find the best side that I think I might make his little face, which I think I might do just about here. So what I'm going to do is grab the glue gun again, keeping my fingers away, and just putting a dab of glue in there, and grabbing my bead and sticking it on. Pretty good. So you just, again, if you need to, you can trim it away. There's a bit more glue there. And that, you can get him hanging up, is our little, turning him around the right way, is our little gnome ready to hang up. Now, if you don't have a hot glue gun at home, you can use like a PVA, a white glue, which most at home, Dad might have some out in the garage, or Mum, just some PVA, and you can, like the hot glue gun makes the pom-pom stick really quickly. With the PVA glue, you just run it around there, you're going to stick it on, and you might just need to leave it for quite a few hours before it's dry and able to be, so it doesn't separate. So this one that I bought with me originally is sort of like a Christmas one, and this one can be for all year round. So I hope that you can find some great wool at home that you can make, and I'll hopefully be online when everyone is able to make them, and I can help answer any questions that you might have. But these might make a great Christmas present for your friends, or like a nana or a grandma, anyone that you think might like something homemade that's come straight from what you've done. It makes a great present. So I hope you've had fun making a pom-pom gnome. All right, bye.